The current WTA player Eala is now being compared to as she exits the Qatar Open. Alexandra Eala's Qatar Open campaign has come to an end at the first hurdle. When Eala saved 3 consecutive set points in the first set tiebreak, it seemed Eala was about to produce another miracle after her stunning comeback victory in Abu Dhabi. However, she eventually lost the tiebreak 8-6 and faded thereafter, eventually losing the match 7-6, 6-1. It was a disappointing loss for Eala, who faced a player 2 years her junior. However, the Filipina can take pride in the fight she showed once again, and she will now turn her attention to her next WTA Tour event, which is yet to be confirmed. Ahead of the contest, Eala was compared to a current WTA star, a player who has previously made a Grand Slam final. Alexandra Eala is compared to Leylah Fernandez. While Eala and Vallentova were warming up on Monday, Tina Krizan discussed the Filipina's game and her potential stardom while commentating for Sky Sports. Krizan, the former world number 19, said, "A lefty, good serve, good ground strokes, moves well. Reminds me a little bit of Leylah Fernandez, pictured below, but she has got slightly heavier shots from the baseline. Certainly a lot of potential already, even to make it higher than she already is, ranked 40 in the world." Eala and Vallentova both made a big jump in the last couple of years actually. 2 years ago, Eala was around 160 in the rankings, so a big jump for her. Especially after Miami when she beat Swiatek. I mean, that's a big win at the highest level when you're able to do that, and she managed to do that really well. She's had a decent season this year. Semi-final in Auckland and quarterfinal in Abu Dhabi last week. After her performance in Abu Dhabi, Eala became the first Filipina in history to break into the WTA top 40. Who would bet against Eala continuing her rise up the rankings throughout 2026? The Filipina has the ground strokes of a top 20 player and has consistently demonstrated the fight needed to take her game to the very top. Alex Eala's serve continues to be a weakness. Alex Eala's serve is far from a strength, and on Monday, this weakness came to the fore once again. Eala faced 7 breakpoints on her own serve, with Vallentova converting on 4 occasions. She also won only 56% of her first serve points and 47% of all points on her second serve. While Vallentova won a lower percentage of second serve points, 44%, she was dominant on her first serve, hitting 4 aces and winning 75% of those points. If Eala is to become a true star of the sport, she must find a way of improving the speed and power of her serve. As things currently lie, Eala has to put in so much effort on her ground strokes to win points, sapping her energy and offering her opponent opportunities to capitalize. With a more powerful serve, Eala would win more cheap points, giving herself more breathing room during her service games, ultimately improving the efficiency of her overall game. Alex Eala, a rising star, a national beacon, and a player with comparisons worthy of the spotlight. The world of women's tennis thrives on narratives, stories of emerging talents, dramatic rises, defining moments, and the endless interplay between pressure and promise. For Filipina sensation Alexandra Alex Eala, the 2026 Qatar TotalEnergies Open in Doha became another chapter in an already remarkable journey, a blend of breakthrough achievements, a world stage exit, and fascinating comparisons to other stars that reflect not just her style, but her evolving identity on the WTA Tour. Alex Eala's run at the Qatar Open ended sooner than she and her fans might have hoped. In the round of 64 at the WTA 1000 event, the 20-year-old world number 40, a career-high ranking she just achieved, was ousted by Czech contender Tereza Vallentova, 7-6, 6, 6-1. Despite a gritty first set where Eala shrugged off early struggles and battled into a tiebreak, Vallentova seized the key moments, and the second set saw the Czech pull away emphatically. It was a swift, decisive finish to Eala's Qatar campaign, but one that opens up deeper reflections on her growth and presence in the women's game. More than an exit, the journey to Qatar. The Qatar Open was part of Eala's Middle East swing, a sequence of tournaments following a strong performance in the Abu Dhabi Open, where she reached the quarterfinals and slew a match point in a thrilling comeback. There, she balanced grit with flair, fighting back from a set down and facing adversity with resilience. Back home and globally, that Abu Dhabi result, combined with her 2025 season, which featured historic milestones, elevated both her ranking and her reputation. From Miami Open semifinal runs where she dispatched multiple Grand Slam champions, to becoming the first Filipino woman to reach a WTA final at Eastbourne, her feats resonate far beyond wins and losses. Those experiences now shape how the tennis world evaluates her in defeat as well as success. The comparisons that followed. A name, a style, a story. With attention comes comparison. Following her recent exit from the Qatar Open, a narrative thread has emerged in media discussing who Eala is being compared to in the WTA landscape as she rises, Leylah Fernandez. This comparison isn't superficial, it speaks to both style and substance. Fernandez, the Canadian left-hander, reached the US Open final in 2021, captivating fans with her tenacity, court craft, and ability to swing big matches even when not favored. Her spirited left-handed play, willingness to engage in long rallies, and tenacious mentality on pressure points have been echoed in descriptions of Eala's game, particularly from observers and commentators drawing parallels between their approaches and competitive fire. While Eala herself has acknowledged seeing these comparisons in the public sphere, noting with respect that Fernandez is a great player, she also insists on forging her own path, embracing her individuality rather than being defined by another's legacy. It's a reminder that comparisons in sport often serve more as conversation starters than definitive labels. Beyond the comparison, Eala's unique identity. Yes, there are stylistic echoes of Fernandez in Eala's left-handed dynamism, her willingness to battle, and her athletic agility, but Eala's narrative is distinctly her own. She's the first Filipino ever to breach the top 40 in the WTA rankings, a landmark achievement for her nation and Southeast Asian tennis. Her junior pedigree, including a US Open girls singles title, foreshadowed her pro aspirations long before she walked onto the biggest stages. Yet beyond raw results, her story blends cultural resonance, national pride, and global ambition. In the Philippines, she's not merely a competitor, she's a trailblazer, carrying hope for future generations of athletes from a region traditionally underrepresented in elite tennis. The comparison with Fernandez, therefore, transcends the court. Fernandez's mother is Filipino-Canadian, and her journey mirrors parts of Eala's own, navigating expectations, cultural intersections, and the weight of national representation. It's no surprise that fans and commentators find parallels, but reducing Eala to just another version of someone else risks overlooking what makes her uniquely compelling. What this exit means, and what comes next. Exiting a high-profile event like the Qatar Open early can sting, especially after building momentum in recent months.